I'm not even gonna do a long intro, this will be really quick. First, go and search portraits on Pinterest. Once you do that, you're gonna find a bunch of references and make sure to choose ones that have good lighting and shadow. I'm gonna be going into shading and how to pick good references in another video, so watch out for that because this is just a beginner's tutorial. So once you pick out a reference, you're gonna start drawing the head. Don't make it flat, make it a little more 3D-ish and three-dimensional. So based on the reference you chose, the neck is gonna be connected to the head in a certain way. Something I used to do when I was just starting out was basically just copy the image and paste it and just trace over it strategically. So think of the big picture, how everything is connected. This is how I actually connected or managed to connect the chest to the neck, making it a little more proportional. It really helped me visualize the shapes in 3D and helped me get in a certain flow of not focusing too much on the details. After you're done blocking out the main shapes, the big picture, you're gonna go and block out the big shapes of the small details. Does that make sense? Like the eye socket, where the lips go, where the hair goes. Block out the hair. Even if it looks weird, block it out the way I am doing it right now. I'd seriously recommend using a thick airbrush, like a hard airbrush for this part. So you'd basically think of it as sculpting if you don't want to do another sketch, which is like the cleaner sketch. I usually do that as well. I don't really go in like into another layer and do the cleaner sketch. I just clean up the messy one with whatever I blocked out. Once you're done with that, skip line art, lower the opacity of the messy layer and start making a cleaned up sketch. It doesn't matter if it's messy because we're gonna paint over this anyway. A tip that really helped me make my cleaned up sketch have more depth and not look, well, plain. It's to basically thicken the lines where they meet. So if you see any T's or X's, just make the line thicker and curve them in a way, as demonstrated, to give it more depth. After we're done with that, we're gonna start with the grayscale. I just block it all in with gray, like the mid-tone gray, and give myself 3 values to use at first to simplify the process, and make sure that the sketches above the grayscale at this rate, we're gonna merge them eventually, but if you're afraid of merging your layers, just duplicate them. That really helped me back when I was just starting out. Now using the reference, paint the hard shadows. We're gonna smudge some of them later, and I'll also teach you about edge control, where to smudge and where to not smudge to make sure your painting doesn't look dull and muddy. To sum this part up, I block in the hard edges first and then start smudging to create some edge control. If you don't know where to smudge and where to keep the hard edges, just think of the planes of the face and where the surface abruptly just changes. It could also help to think of the character you're drawing, whether it's a softer character or someone more structured and hard, if that makes sense. A softer, more feminine, or a younger character would probably have less hard edges than a more structured and masculine one. Either way, remember that this is not a guess game, so use your reference wisely and observe before you even start painting to know where you would want your edges to go, where you would want your hard and soft edges to go. You could also look up your favorite artists and see how they control their edges. Depends on the art style. For example, Arcane's art style uses a lot more hard edges than mine. It's really good to learn from your other artists and research and study them as well every now and again. Don't copy them though. We're now gonna do the hair. Basically, what I like doing is getting like the dark shadows first, and also remember where the light is coming from. I block it all in with like just random brush strokes. They're not entirely random. Think of where the hair is growing, and I do that again with dark shadows. So I first do it with light and then dark and then light again until I get like the texture and look I want. It doesn't actually matter if you start with the dark or light, because eventually you're going to be adding extra lighting with blending modes, which we're not going to do in this video, but you can do that as well. So how the curves work is that you can change the color of your shadows midtones and highlights as well. What I like to basically do for the skin, I turn up the reds in the curves and lower the blues in order to get yellow in the curves as well. After we're done with that, we're gonna block in the color of the dress, which is gonna be yellow. For this part, I usually just go for overlay, but you can also use color mode, like the color blending mode, and you go to your skin tone, basically color pick that skin tone and slightly go to the red or pink or orange. After you do that, just try to make sure that you're not overly using these colors, because it would just look like a rash, to be honest. A good tip is using them when the skin is slightly thinner, basically the fingertips, underneath the eye, or like around the eye area, which sometimes is red, sometimes people have thicker skin there, the lips, the cheeks, and the ears as well. And finally, it's the rendering stage. This is where you can do whatever you want, quite literally whatever you want. And I like to just add strands here, like hair strands, use liquify tool, and just touch up the painting a little more. Add some accessories, have fun with it, add some highlights, and whatever you want. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm really proud of you for learning and challenging yourself. And if you're interested in seeing the world through the lens of an artist and finding deep meaning through art, watch The Art Diaries. It's a new series I'm working on, and thank you for your support. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this, like the video, and share it with whoever might need it. And I'll see you in the next video. Adios! What the hell? Why did I say adios?